You're listening to the Throttle to the Floor podcast. Hey y'all, welcome to today's episode of the Throttle to the Floor podcast. I'm your host, Will Earnest, here today with my co-host, Evan Sager.
Hello, y'all.
Got some big action from both Phoenix and from Gainesville, Florida to get to, but first, a couple other things. I want to start with some F1 drama, their season opening race in Australia, and I noticed the big thing to me anyways, a lot of the fans were saying that the new 2026 F1 car was trying to race like the COT in NASCAR, like the 550 horsepower package. So,
yeah, the racing was not great from what I saw online.
I mean, F1 wants to boast there was a bunch of overtakes, a bunch of passing, but it's
not great racing, all things considered.
Yeah, and that's negating other storylines like Oscar Piastri crashing. Like on the warm-up or like before the warm-up or whatever, like not great. Also IndyCar, they released their layout for the planned street race in Washington D.C. on August 23rd. Still planned. We don't know if it's actually going to happen. We might end up in war in August for all we know, with Iran, but that's a different problem. Yeah, they released the layout, 7 turns. 1.7 miles goes, it technically stays off of Capitol grounds, so they don't need congressional support to change the ban on advertising, because there's no advertising on Capitol grounds, but since it's just off of it, we can still have all the advertising we want.
Yeah, I bet IndyCar is happy about that one.
Yeah, Trump is too, because he was not getting no congressional support for that. He's got negative congressional support right now. Yeah, getting into the action here, we're going to start with NHRA in Gainesville, their 75th anniversary season that got underway this past weekend at Gainesville Raceway in Gainesville, Florida, with the 57th annual Amali Motor Oil NHRA Gatornationals. The big news from qualifying, 2-time defending Funny Car World Champion Austin Prock. He failed to qualify for Gainesville. They were last on the qualifying sheet. And we talked last Friday about both sides of the deal with Prock going to Tasker Racing and Ford, and then the new pieces at John Force Racing. And JFR clearly has a early edge in that department, as you'll hear about in a few minutes as we get into Elimination Sunday. But I want to get into that first, and also about Maddie Gordon. Maddie Gordon qualified 15th in top field on the top field ladder, and yet despite that, she took out Sean Langdon, who was runner-up last year in points, Tony Schumacher, who's the winningest top-field driver in history, and she made it all the way to the semifinals where she lost against Doug Coletta, who's the defending world champion.
I'll give her some props. She did really well, I must say.
Yeah,
and
plus
watching her interview, you can tell how emotional she was.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, the interview. She's made quite the rounds on social media with her electric personality. I don't know if she needs those monsters. It was reported that Monster had signed a deal with her to be an associate sponsor on her Carlisle Tools Top Fuel Dragster. I don't know if she needs that monster. She's just got the personality itself.
Yeah.
Then again, do you think Carson Hocevar in NASCAR, do you think he even needs the Monster sponsorship?
No.
Yeah, we'll see if he closes that deal, but yeah, Maddie Gordon closed the deal at least to get to the semifinals. So great top fuel debut for her. But unfortunately, team owner Ron Capps, despite qualifying number 1 in Funny Car, got bounced in round 1 by number 16 qualifier John Smith. So pretty bittersweet start to the year for Ron Capps Motorsports. It's like on one hand, you got Maddie Gordon going all the way to the semis from 15th, and then team owner Ron Capps qualified number 1 and just
did not show up.
But the Gainesville being in Florida, it was a hot track, for Florida standards, but it was tough to even make a legitimate pass down there, even in the last couple of qualifying sessions. And in the case of Austin Prock, he had that difficulty all weekend, even in the night qualifying sessions, and that's why he didn't qualify. But back to Prock's former team, John Force Racing, Jordan Vandegrift, who replaced Prock in his Cornwall Quality Tools funny car. He also went all the way to the semifinals in his funny car debut, including beating teammate Jack Beckman in round one. Teammate Alexis Zoria, who is also new this year at John Force Racing, although she was announced for another funny car, and that was likely like in the works, like in the past off season before Proc decided to leave John Force Racing. But she also advanced to the final round in her funny car, but Chad Green beat her. As Chad Green, he went 395.9 at 329.91 miles an hour to beat Zoria in the funny car final. DeJoria, she smoked the tires only like 300 feet down the track, but it's Chad Green's second straight win at the Gatornationals, only his third career victory, and in about 45 seconds, you're about to hear that same statement a second time. Josh Hart, who also is new to John Force Racing, who took over Brittany Force's top field dragster. He sold his own top field team that he had owned for years before that, but he beat defending champ Doug Coletta for his third career win and second at Gainesville Raceway in the Gatornationals. It's Hart's first win since Charlotte in 2021, which, if you do the math there, that's his other win that doesn't come at Gainesville. Gainesville Raceway is home track. He's from Florida, so great win for him. Doug Coletta had misfiring cylinders late down the track in the loss. And then in Pro Stock, shifting gears, which is a big thing in Pro Stock, Matt Hartford took down Greg Anderson in the final round for his first win since Reading in 2023 for his 9th career win. Greg Anderson had an interesting weekend. He wasn't until like his 4th and final qualifying pass that he even got into the field. Qualified 13th. He won his first round matchup and faced off and beat his own son, who red lighted, but Corey Anderson was his debut Pro Stock race. So, but he's got a lot to learn from his dad, the 6-time Pro Stock world champion. And then in Pro Stock motorcycle, Richard Gatson, who's the defending champion, he wins on his 40th birthday, so happy belated birthday to Richard Gatson. Won in the final round over John Hall. Richard Gatson almost threw his birthday present away. As in the semifinal matchup, it looked like initially he knocked over the last block after his opponent red lighted. But as we found out in the replay, it was just knocked over by the wind off his motorcycle. So
going too fast.
Yeah, I guess. But back to John Hall. He averaged a 003 reaction time during eliminations, which is just blazing fast. And yet he only put up a .047 reaction time, and Gadsden just ate that with a .018 reaction time, but he took advantage for the win there. So great weekend of action at the Gatornationals. NHRA, they return in 2 weeks, March 20th to the 22nd for the Arizona Nationals just outside of Phoenix. But for NASCAR and IndyCar, they just got done racing at Phoenix this past weekend, so let's talk about it. We'll start with O'Reilly's. You had Taylor Gray, who won the pole. He took the lead early, and then Jesse Love took control for much of this race. We wondered last Friday if Love could back up his championship win from last November. For a while, it very damn well looked like he was going to. And then Sammy Smith passed Love late in Stage 1. He won the stage before Love took back control, won Stage 2, led into Stage 3 until Carson Kvapil. It looked like Kvapil, with that great battle with Love, once he took the lead, it looked like Kvapil was going to get his first career win. Just like Sheldon Creed a few weeks ago at Atlanta, and then it looks like Creed was going to get another win too. And it's like, okay, is Creed in a better position? Being that, after his win at Atlanta, he finally got that monkey off his back. The answer to that question, yes, partially, because although he was definitely in a much calmer situation, being that he had already gotten his first win, he didn't win at Phoenix. But after a couple big wrecks, the man of the race, Justin Allgaier, came from 6th to 1st on the last restart, and started 17th overall in the race. And yet Allgaier came up and passed Jesse Love and held him off to pick up his first win of the year, his third career win at Phoenix, his 29th O'Reilly Series victory. After, again, he started all the way back in 17th, which at Phoenix, flat, 1 mile track, very hard to pass.
Yeah. Even on the restarts when you go 6, 7 wide across the dog leg, and no matter what, it's hard to gain track position after the restarts.
Yeah, even with, NASCAR being able to go all the way down on the apron, whereas IndyCar does not. But Allgaier, he broke a tie with Mark Martin and Kyle Busch for the most consecutive seasons with at least one O'Reilly Series victory with 10. So, great streak there. It just shows Allgaier, the veteran, was just able to lean on his experience after starting 17th.
Just work on the car all race, and look where he got you.
Yeah. But our standings, Bernardo's lead has tightened up. Only leads Stacy by 12, me by 15, and then Noah's 86 back, Evan's 90 back, and Haley's 105 back. So y'all got some work to do.
Yeah.
For sure. But hey, it's not as bad as me in the truck series.
Yeah, that is rough.
Yeah, we're all just suffering in the truck series.
Yeah.
For sure. But they don't race until Darlington in a couple weeks, so we don't got to worry about that. I picked Jesse Love.
What could have been?
Yeah, what could have been? And that's only the first time you're going to hear what could have been on this episode. You're about to hear it again shortly. But Jesse Love finished second, led 114 laps. It was the most laps led. He had the Xfinity fastest lap. Evan, he picked Sam Mayer, came home in fifth.
All things considered, I'll take it as a win. He had a good car. I mean, especially early in the races, you can tell when he passed Love in the first stage, then won the stage. So it saved me some points there. So I'll take it. But overall, not a bad weekend. I'll take a top 5. All things considered.
Yeah, Haley picked Brandon Jones. Somehow finished 16th despite getting caught up in that late wreck, and before that he was running the top 10. Haley's O'Reilly Series luck is terrible. Not as bad as my Truck Series luck, but still terrible. I guess you could say the same thing about her IndyCar luck, but we'll get to that too. Just willpower in general. Stacy picked Justin Allgaier, who of course won the race, only led 11 laps. This is only the first time that you're going to hear Stacy beating out dominant me for the win. You'll hear it again pretty soon. Bernardo picked Sheldon Creed, finished fourth. It looked like for about 5 seconds Sheldon Creed was going to win again. But not quite. But he did have the lead after pit stops, and that's about it. But still a solid fourth place finish. Haas Factory team, 4th and 5th. Like something, I don't know if it's Haas Factory team switching back to Chevrolets or something, but something about them is just they've been rejuvenated this year.
Yeah, I will say I don't know. Like you said, I don't know if it's just because they switched from Chevy or Ford to Chevy like they were back in the olden days, but I don't know. Them Chevy guys got some nice equipment, I must say.
Yeah, something like that. Noah picked Corey Day, who finished 9th, which I'm checking my notes here. I don't remember if Corey Day actually destroyed race cars.
I think he actually raced pretty cleanly, if I remember correctly.
For once. I really hope he does that in Las Vegas next week because I picked him for Las Vegas. But yeah, more picks on that will come in Friday's preview episode. But switching gears now, getting to IndyCar, Dave Malukas, man. Second start with Team Penske. Won the pole, led the first 70-some laps, eventually came home to finish third. So, but on the other side, Malukas, the man he replaced at Penske, of course, Will Power, started dead last after wrecking in qualifying, but yet by some miracle, or at least it seemed, he was battling for the win until Kyle Kirkwood got into him and cut his tire, which ended that. So
it stings for Haley since she picked Will Power, obviously.
Yes.
I mean, he had a good car. He just had to start at the back and he worked.
He had a good car, just bad luck. Yeah. Well, okay. I remember me and Noah, we rewatched his wreck from qualifying. The car just got out from under him and down in turn 1, and he just backed it into the wall. So, I mean, it was the first time IndyCar had raced at Phoenix since 2018. So,
kind of some slack.
Yeah. There's plenty.
Ow. That was me hitting the table, y'all. My bad.
Yeah, okay. You might want to back up a little bit so you don't hit the fucking table.
I just hit my elbow. That's okay. Whatever.
Anyways, there was plenty of passing at Phoenix with IndyCar with 565 on-track passes, which is a record for IndyCar at Phoenix. Combination of tire strategy and maneuvering in traffic late in this race handed the win to Joseph Newgarden after only leading 8 laps past Kyle Kirkwood late for the win, including the final 7 laps that he led for the win. It's his second win in Phoenix after 2018, which was the last time that IndyCar raced at Phoenix, and it's his 33rd career win. What's funny is getting into our picks, I picked Joseph Newgarden. So it's funny, all 3 races, main races this weekend with NASCAR, O'Reilly's, and IndyCar, all 3 of them had winners that only led like a
few laps,
handful of laps. And of those results, I finished first in IndyCar and second in the other 2.
So you had a pretty good weekend, I must say.
Yes, I will say that. So I'm 2 for 2 to start IndyCar for the year. We don't talk about Arlington next week. I mean, we will, but mostly on the preview episode on Friday. But yeah, so I picked Newgarden. He won the race. Only led 8 laps. Doesn't matter. Newgarden won. Evan, you picked Alexander Rossi, who finished in 6th.
I'm not going to lie, I did not watch the race. I'm going to be so for real. I did not watch the race, but I'll take a 6th place finish.
You know, you're just overworking at McDonald's, working 8 to 4s back to back, so you're just stuck with that.
Actually, it was 8 to 6 to be precise.
Okay, yeah. Putting the fries in the bag over there.
Yeah, I was making the burgers for the fries in the bag.
Okay. Anyways, we know Haley picked Will Powers, still finished 16th with 10 laps led, got the fastest lap, so hey, there's an extra consolation prize, despite Will Powers' really, really, really bad luck.
Yeah.
And just poor adjustments to Andretti after leaving Penske after 16 years of being there. But yeah, Stacy picked Scott Dixon, finished in 7th. Just a quiet day. It's about the only bright spot for Chip Ganassi. Alex Palou got wrecked after like 20 laps in this race. Finished, I believe, 24th, I think. Not great for Palou. You better hope that Palou doesn't wreck again.
Yes. I'm praying the good juju on him.
Yeah. And Noah picked Louis Foster. He stole your pick from St. Pete, and it did not work. He finished 23rd in DNF.
I'll take it. Hey, you can have him.
Okay. Yeah, I lead IndyCar points still by 35 over Bernardo, 56 over Stacy, 70 over you.
Yeah.
91 over Haley, and 99 over Noah. So, yeah, y'all still have work to do.
Hey, don't get too cocky now.
I know.
It's early in the season.
I know.
Look what happened last year.
It's like how it's early in the truck season.
It's just like what happened last year.
Who
won the championship?
Hey, like our points gap was like less than like 30 points for like 3 months. So it wasn't me choking. It was just us battling for 3 months.
Well, I'm talking about like after the first few weeks. I had a pretty sizable gap between first place after the first 4 weeks of last year. So
yeah,
all I'm gonna say is don't call me the comeback kid for no reason.
Yeah, whatever. Sure, I guess. Yeah, getting into Cup now. Penske, very interesting. For them, it was a good weekend. But in the Cup race, it was very interesting. I guess on that note, I'll just start with Joey Logano. What are you doing?
Joey Logano, you might want to get your CDL, brother.
with that big shell Pennzoil Mustang that he's hauling around there. Yeah, he took out Chastain, who ended up taking out Cindric. I'm surprised that they're not taking Cindric back to R&D after peeling his car open with a can opener.
Yeah, I was surprised too, honestly.
Yeah, the last time I remember seeing that was Priest at Talladega with Larson and that big T-bone wreck, if you remember. And they took both of them back to R&D, and that was 23?
Yeah, it was 23.
23. So I'm surprised they didn't do the same for Cindric, but yeah, and then Logano ended up getting wrecked himself.
Thank God.
So jokes on him. Yeah, Toyotas, man. They had runs, and then they just
fell off. They had the short run speed, but not the long run speed.
Yeah. Well, except for Bell.
But Bell's the exception.
Bell was the exception.
Also, shout out Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs, I was very impressed with him this weekend. I must say. As much as I'm a Ty Gibbs hater, I was impressed.
Yes. Ty Gibbs, for about 3 seconds, looked like he was going to win this race. And then Blaney was able to eventually get by him. And I also want to mention Blaney really quick before we touch on him later for obviously winning the race. 2 loose wheels. 2. And yet he still comes all the way back to win this race. Just insane. SVG had 2 spins in this race and still finished 11th.
Yeah, I will say SVG is starting to figure it out.
SVG is figuring it out.
Which is scary.
I don't think there's really any more. Is SVG still learning on the oval? I mean, well, he is still learning on the ovals, but, it's no more will SVG figure out the ovals. It's when will he truly run up front and be competitive and win at an oval. Yeah.
If he wins his first oval race, watch out.
Yeah. I mean, Phoenix and Bristol were the 2 tracks that they kind of pointed towards as we need to improve here, and he finished 11th despite spinning twice. So, very impressed with SVG. Chase Briscoe.
Let's go fishing.
Yeah.
Let's go fishing into a wall.
If we just had to rate Briscoe off of his start to the 2026 season, I feel bad for him wrecking 3 times, blew a tire while running like 3rd or 4th, finishing dead last in 37th. I feel bad for Haley for picking Briscoe, but at the same time, if we just had to rate this 2026 start to the year, and not counting last year's great year for Briscoe, he's a disappointment to the 19 car.
It's not all his fault though.
It really is not. On a serious note, it's not his fault.
Briscoe's just doing the best he can. He's just getting in really shitty situations.
I mean, but he's in a bad hole in the chase.
Yeah, I know.
Ugh.
Hey, it's only the first couple of weeks, so I think we'll figure it out.
I think we'll be fine. Just all the tires. What was going on there with all them tires?
Goodyear, okay, I will say I'm glad Goodyear made a tire that falls off, but I don't want people crashing all the time either and spinning out because of those blown tire. And now it's not as bad as the 2023 spring Bristol race.
24.
Or 24, my bad. My fault.
As a Hamlin fan, you should know that.
I know. I'm wearing the Indy Hamlin shirt right now. But still, I mean, that race was horrible. I mean, it was cool as a Denny Hamlin fan to see who actually wins, which was kind of nice to have an actual tire fall-off race.
Here's the thing. It was cool there was tire fall-off. It was not cool that all of them blew within 40 laps.
Yeah, that was a little obsessive. Or
excessive.
Yes.
Yeah,
word.
There's the word.
I had a brain fart right there.
12 cautions, which ties a track record with fall 2014 and spring 2020. We don't talk about spring 2020. There's a lot of cautions at Phoenix. Yeah. And it's like, cool you have tire fall off. Not cool that they all blew.
Yeah.
But technically, a lot of those flat tires were under an existing caution for Gregson. And as we found out, it wasn't even a tire. It was a brake rotor.
Kaboom!
So.
We bring the boom!
Yeah. Getting back to Ryan Blaney, circling back around to him. 2 loose wheels. Can't emphasize that enough. 2 loose wheels, and yet he comes back to win. And wins his first win of the year. His second at Phoenix, actually second in a row because he won in November. If you think about it, the last time, prior to this weekend, the last time that somebody other than Tyler Reddick won a points-paying NASCAR Cup race was Ryan Blaney at Phoenix.
In November.
That is all we're going to talk about last November at Phoenix.
Flashbacks.
Okay. Yeah. Second win in a row at Phoenix after the championship race last November. His 18th career victory. I saw somebody mention he's trying to put a Hall of Fame resume together with 18 wins, a championship, and a Coke 623. Little early.
Yeah, I wouldn't say yet, but he's getting up there.
He's in his prime, for sure, but little early.
Yeah.
We'll see. But before we get to picks and updated standings, first, I want to say a shout-out to Anthony Alfredo in the 48 car. it was looking like just another pedestrian day. And then he was running in the top 10 late until Logano hooked Chastain. He got caught up in that big mess. But I want to bring up Alex Bowman. He was out this weekend with vertigo from the sickness at Coda, which is why Alfredo replaced him in the 48. And, I mean, they say that concussions and prior wrecks were not a factor, but I just cannot stop thinking that they played at least
they played a little bit. I mean,
just a little bit.
Think of Dale Jr.'s career.
Exactly. That's what I was going to mention. But Bowman's taken lots of nasty wrecks in the past few years. 2022, Fall, Texas, concussion, missed 5 races. 2023, sprint car crash about an hour and a half from our studio here down at 34 Raceway in West Burlington, Iowa. But broke his back in that sprint car crash, missed 3 races. And then last year, the Cup race at Michigan, nasty head-on hit. And, I mean, while he didn't miss any races or break anything or get a concussion, he said that it was the hardest hit of his career, even harder than the other 2 that I just mentioned. But Bowman in the last 3.5 years, he's missed 8 races due to injury, and yet it's only won 1 race in that same time frame in Hendrick equipment, and that was the Chicago Street Race in 2024, and he should not have won that race.
He should not have won that race.
But even if we discount that, 1 race win, despite 8 missed races due to injury in 3.5 years in Hendrick equipment. That's top-tier equipment. He should win more.
Yeah, that's not an equipment issue. I mean, yes, he's missed races, but it still is not. It's inexcusable to
That's true. It's not an equipment issue. It's just a him issue.
I mean, yes, the injuries don't help.
The injuries don't help, but look at Chase Elliott. He came back from a broken leg in that snowboarding crash in 2023, and he missed a bunch of races at the start of the year because of that, and he also missed a later race from hooking
different incident.
Yeah, hooking Denny Hamlin at the Coke 600. He missed Gateway the following week, but he was able to win at Texas the following year in 24, and then last year he won Atlanta and Kansas plus the Clash. Yeah. So Elliott's been able to bounce back, and even starting off this year, he's still 4th in points. I mean, Phoenix was not that great, and Las Vegas isn't a great statistical track for him either, but he's still 4th in points. It's just Elliott has been able to fire off, and recover from his broken leg injury from a few years ago. He's been able to recover and compete for a championship, or at least be, good. Bowman has not. So, the injuries don't help for Bowman.
No.
But, it's just no. And, I mean, this could be the end. I mean, yeah.
Bowman the Showman versus Rowdy Busch.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it is true that the vertigo wasn't caused by his wrecks and he's just, actually sick. But, I mean, we'll have a better picture. I mean, if he misses Las Vegas, then we're in trouble.
I think he's medically retiring, like I was telling you earlier. I think it was either today or yesterday I was telling you that. Yeah. There's some rumors going around. This is not confirmed by any reliable source, but from what I've been seeing and hearing, it is possible he will be out for at least a month, 2 months with vertigo. And if that's the case, I think he's going to medically retire after this year.
I think so, yeah. I mean, you think of, Casey Kane.
Yeah.
He retired. It was, right before the Southern 500 in 2018, and that was due to heat exhaustion. So,
yeah.
I don't know. But, I mean, yeah, this could end up ending his time at Hendrick or even just in his career. I mean, and it does not help that he's in a contract year at Hendrick Motorsports, which is almost like Dale Jr. because when 2016 happened, his contract was up at the end of 17. But just, I don't know. It's ironic because Bowman was the one who replaced Dale Jr. at Hendrick at the time in the 88 car, and of course now Bowman's on the 48. But but still wishing the best for sure for Alex Bowman. Hopefully he can get back in the car and at least have a chance to, fight for his seat.
Prove himself.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. It's not looking good at all. Back to Cup picks and standings. We'll start with our picks. If you remember earlier in the episode, I mentioned how I had the dominant car and ended up finishing second to Stacy. Well, here we go. Stacy picked Blaney, who only led 20 laps and won the race, despite me picking Bell, who finished second and led 176, which was the most laps led of the 312. Yeah. For a second, I almost thought there was more because of overtime, but somehow those 12 cautions did not lead to overtime. I'm surprised. So just, I won the race with New Garden IndyCar, and I finished second with Love and Bell in O'Reilly's and Cup. So good weekend for me. Trucks, I need some work.
Trucks, you need some help.
We all need some help in the truck series.
Trucks is not great.
Stacy has run away with it. Evan, you picked Hamlin, who I'm just now realizing also finished fifth, just like Mayer in the O'Reilly's race. So lots of similarities. We've had lots of similarity
weekends.
Yeah. But Hamlin in fifth.
I mean, he led some laps early, and then towards the end of the second stage, got passed by Bell. I mean, all in all, Hamlin had a good weekend. I mean, it's back to the normal tracks for Hamlin, so this will be the telltale sign of how the season's going to be.
Good point. Hamlin at Las Vegas, he won last fall,
yes.
So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, Hamlin hasn't fired off bad, but obviously he's been overshadowed, being co-in 23-11 and 23-11 with Reddick. And Reddick, he had an okay car. He ran like 5th to 12th all day. Yeah. Finished 8th, but no 4-peat. No 4-peat for Michael Jordan. No 4-peat for Reddick. So Jimmy Johnson in 2007, before I was alive, was the last time we saw anybody win 4 NASCAR Cup races in a row, just in any part of the year, let alone the first
4
few races of the year. So, but still, Reddick winning the first 3 races of the year back to back to back. He already broke that history mark, so he'll be remembered for that for sure. Haley picked Briscoe, as we mentioned earlier, just tough. He was running up there, and then just blew the tire.
And went bye-bye.
Briscoe was the first casualty in all those tire issues. It's just he took the worst of it pretty much, because you had all those other flat tires, but that was under the Gregson caution, so like they were all right. And then Blaney had tire issues, but those were loose wheels, and both of those he just so happened to be able to fix them instead of the alternate option, called it falling off the car under green flag conditions, which would have ended his race, put him 2 laps down, and just like Chastain last week at Coda, would have suspended a couple of his crew members.
Yes. And if he did that, Bell probably would have won this race. Or honestly, probably Gibbs would have won this race, to be completely honest.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. Gibbs kind of fell off on that last year.
We'll never know. Only hypotheticals. Bernardo picked Byron, who was also one of those cars that had a flat tire under that Gregson caution. So
don't bring it back. Not again.
My fault. Hamlin fan with PTSD over here.
Byron's in the wall.
Okay. And then Noah with Chase Elliott finished 23rd. Not great for Chase Elliott. And as I mentioned earlier, Las Vegas, not great.
Yeah. These West Coast tracks have not been great for him.
Yeah. He had the championship win in Phoenix in 2020, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So Friday, we'll preview Cup and O'Reilly's action from Las Vegas and IndyCar's debut race on the temporary street course in Arlington, Texas, around Jerry's World and the Texas Rangers Stadium, which is sure to be crazy. I mean, it's Jerry World. I mean, come on now. But yeah, that's all we got for today's episode of the Throttle podcast. Make sure you tune in and listen and download on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Check out the Chill Photography and Throttle podcast, Instagrams and TikToks. And thank you to Evan for showing up and sharing his Hamlin PTSD experience. But that's all we got for today's episode of the Throttle podcast, and we'll see y'all on Friday.
Have a good night, y'all.